let's jump in then. So as we talked about, this session is all about accessing literacy in a digital world. We are going to be talking about how to get books in the hands of our kids, and that is physical books, because we don't want to just get away with no touching of real books, but also a number of online tools that you can use to support your LUCHA leaders' literacy growth. Okay, my name is Mrs. Bird. I'm the principal. Miss Ruby is our community liaison, and she is translating today. So if you need to access the translation, please find the interpretation icon at the bottom of the screen and turn on Spanish translation so that you can hear Miss Ruby in Spanish instead of my English presentation. Okay. So we're going to jump right in. The objectives of today, like we just talked about, how do we get books in the hands of our kids when they don't have access to their classroom libraries or their city libraries? And then how can we access books digitally? Now, all of our students have devices, so how can we use that to get them access to reading materials? And what other tools are we using as a school to support our students' literacy growth? Because at LUCHA, we are today's readers, tomorrow's leaders. And so we want to make sure that our students are continuing to grow in their reading, even while we're in distance learning. Okay, and the reason why this is important, this is our stats right here. So I always come back to this. Students who read for 20 minutes every single day are much more likely to show success than students who don't read every day. Okay, and at LUCHA, it is the expectation. It is part of every student's homework every single day to read for at least 20 minutes. Okay, so if we think about that, a student who reads 20 minutes every day will have 3,600 minutes of reading in a school year, versus a student who reads only 1 minute a year only has 180 minutes of reading. And so by the 6th grade, student A would have 60 more school days under their belt than student C. So we really want to make sure that all of our students have access to success and are able to be productive. And so reading is really that key to pushing students forward. And so we want to really remind you how important reading is, and it help you to encourage your students to be reading every single day. Okay, so one thing that we put in our LUCHA ledger this week is we want to run a book drive. We've heard from a number of parents that, but my kids have read every book that's in our house. They're bored of these books and we need more books. So this is your chance to clear out your bookshelves, bring whatever books your students are done with and are no longer interested in, bring it to school, and we're going to be doing a book exchange. So we ask you to bring those books to us by Monday, September 21st, because we do want to follow all quarantining and sanitation rules and let the books sit for 72 hours before we exchange them. But then on the last Friday of the month, we will be doing a materials distribution. And so we will be able to put out all of those books that have been donated so that other students can have access to them. Because just because it's a used book to you, somebody else might find interest in reading it. So again, if you have books, obviously don't take the books that your kids love to read over and over and over again. Those ones stay with you. But if there are some that you are ready to part with, bring them to LUCHA. We will happily accept them and we'll put them out for students to exchange. And we invite you all to then come on Friday, September 25th, and there will be books for anybody who is interested in taking some books to read. Okay, so this is just one easy way that our community can work amongst ourselves to get physical books into the hands of our students. Okay, we also are doing this because we're preparing for our Readathon. So on Friday, October 2nd, this year, unfortunately, we can't do our typical walkathon, right? We're not really able to engage in that. So we're switching it up and we're turning it into a Readathon. So on Friday, October 2nd, we're going to be having a marathon of reading. So all day long, we're going to have our kids engaged in reading activities. And we'll share more information with you about what that exactly will look like. But in order to do this successfully, we've got to get our students access to books. So that's why the week before, we'll be doing that materials pickup so that they can load up on books that they will be able to use for the Readathon. Okay. Any questions? Preguntas sobre esto antes de mover adelante? Any questions about this before I move forward? Okay, so then we also are going to be doing a book fair. So at Lucha, we typically do 2 book fairs a year. This year, we're doing one in the fall. It's going to kick off September 30th, and it'll go all the way to October 13th. And it's going to be a virtual book fair. So you will be given a link to the store website, and you can purchase books from this Scholastic book fair. If you make a purchase of $25 or more, you'll get free shipping of the books right to your house. So you won't even need to come to Lucha to pick up the books. They'll just go right to your house. And every bit that you spend, a little bit comes back and supports our school. So you know that it's going to a good cause, and we use any of the rewards that we get to buy books for our Lucha leaders as well. So again, we'll send out the link as the date approaches, but this will be another great way to get books in the hands of our kids through the Scholastic Book Fair. Okay, and then finally, the last piece that we want to talk about with physical books is through the San Jose Public Library. So you might think that the libraries are closed, so they're not offering books, but actually they are doing express pickup right now. So all of our students can request the books that they want and go and pick them up at the library. So the express pickup is at certain sites only. And so I put the website here so that you could check it out. But Hillview Library is one of the sites. That's our local library here. They are offering express pickup. So you just go onto their website, you pick out the books you want, and then you go to the library, and when you're there, you just text a code and you will be able to pick up the books. Okay, I'm going to show you this short video so we can learn more about the express pickup. Oh, no, I'm not. Hold on. It just went through. There we go. All right, so again, you can see, and actually that was the Hillview Library. That was our local library, if you recognize it. So you can go and get those books. So this is a great way because sometimes the books that they're going to get here might not be what they want. They might want, you know, the Dog Man book, and maybe that's not going to be one of the ones I'm guaranteeing you that somebody's going to be ready to part with, right? But if you look for it at the library, even if it's not available, you can place a hold on it, and then they'll let you know when it is available for you to pick up. Okay, so San Jose Public Library. And remember that all of our Lucha leaders do have library cards. So everybody will be able to access books. So with their student ID, which is that 420 number, they can put that behind the 211931, then add their 420 number, and that is their San Jose Public Library number. So everybody who is enrolled as an Alum Rock student has a library card, and they can use it to access books digitally. Okay, when it asks for their PIN is just their birthday, the first 2 digits for the month, and then the second 2 digits for the date. Okay, and this is how they can log on and get books. And I'm going to show you how that's done in an app called Libby, because I think that's the easiest app to use to get ebooks. All right, so again, the San Jose Public Library has access to resources too. So I'm going to show you when you go to their website. Okay, you will, this is a link to their kids library, right? Because these are the books that the kids are probably going to want to choose. So you will, if you already logged in, you'll be signed up. So right now I'm already signed in as mine, but it's super easy to see. As you look at these books, you can see anything that is available will have the borrow thing on it. And then if it's not available, you'll see that it has a little comment that says place a hold, right? So place a hold means it's not available right now, but you can ask for it when it does become available. So let's say I want to get Stick Dog. It's on a wait list right now, but I can add my name to the wait list, and then I can put my email address in, and they will email me as soon as it's available for checkout. And so then you just have to confirm your email address so that make sure that you're putting in a valid one, and you place a hold. And it's as simple as that. Okay, then you, and right now you can see, like, I'm number 1 on the wait list, so it should be available pretty soon. Okay, so that is one way to get access to books. And if you get it right away, so let me show you what it looks like if you get it right away. Let's say, okay, these are ebooks. So you look at it, you can get an audio book. An audio book means that you'll just hear it, right? It's something just to listen to. And an ebook means that you'll have the visuals to look at. So let's say I want to check out this book, New Kid. I go to borrow, and I just simply click on this. It'll borrow it for 21 days. Okay.
Mrs. Burns, can you hear me? Sorry, there's a couple of people messaging that the link is not valid. They're not able to hear the audio right now. Is there any way that you can help with that?
The link is not valid for this Zoom call? Sorry, let me go on the chat. I wasn't looking.
I believe so. Ariel and Mary Espinosa are asking for the link.
Mrs. Burt?
Yes.
I had to get off of that link, and I just got on to my regular Zoom and logged in with the ID number and the LUCHA.
Oh, let's see. It says, Mrs. Burt, we're trying to connect to another Zoom link since I can't hear anything, but the link says it's invalid. Yeah, I can share the link to this meeting. Yes, I'll share it again. Let's see if I can grab it real quick. I'm going to copy invite. But if I put it on this chat, I'm not sure. If you go to your parent square too, here's the link. I'm not sure if you'll be able to, oh, the library link. Okay, that makes more sense. I'm like, if you're on this call, then you're clearly here already. So the library link. In fact, yes, you know what, Lucha leaders, I'm going to take this whole presentation and share it with you so you have access to all these links and numbers and everything. So this is, I typically send this out right after our call, but I can send it out to you now so you can fiddle as we go through. So in the chat right now is a link to this presentation, which I'll send out later today via Parent Square, so that all of these links are active for you. So thank you for asking, because yeah, you definitely, it's nice to fiddle at the same time as me. Okay, so if you go to borrow, you'll see here, it says 21 days, and I click on borrow, and it will open up the actual book. So you can read it now on a Kindle if you have Kindle, or just in your browser. So browser means it's the internet page that you're currently looking on. Like right now I'm using Google Chrome. So read now in browser, and you will get the book to read. And this is a great way. This is how your students can access books and be able to continue reading books of their choice. Okay, so you go through and it's just scrolling. You just click on it and it changes the, moves the pages for you. You might need to scroll out a little bit, because right now it looks like I'm zoomed in a little bit. You can go to the table of contents, move forward to different pages in the book. But again, just a great way. So eBooks, these are the books that you'll actually be able to see the pictures and the words as opposed to just hearing it. If you're just hearing it, that's an audio book. So I'm going to stop, pause there. Any questions about the San Jose Public Library card and how to access your digital library card? Okay, so I want to make sure that you guys just see how that looks too. So I'm going to sign out for a moment because I want to really make sure that everybody understands how to sign in and where to get the information. Okay, so when you go to that main page, you go to sign in. It's this button here in orange. And you are going to enter in your library card. So remember, right here, it is what is on the formula for Alum Rock. Everybody's library card starts with the numbers 211931, and then it's that 8-digit STU number that they use. Okay, so again, you're looking, this is my son's 8-digit library card, and then it's just the birthday, 2 digits for month, 2 digits for date, and then you click sign in, and that's how you get access to this. So every single student in Alum Rock has a library card that they can take out books from the eBook system, or they can go to Express Pickup and pick up books physically from the library. Okay, so the nice thing is there's a couple of different tools too. Libby is another app that is available. Kids can, I have Libby on my phone. This is how I read if I have extra time, like I'm sitting, you know, at the grocery store in line, I usually pull out my Libby book and start reading my book. And so you can use this wherever you are. It's an app that's available on smartphones or tablets, or it's also available just on the web. So you can just do it from a computer. It is downloaded on the iPads for Kinder and TK students. You will already see that this little icon is the Libby app, and you can choose books from here. So I have a video that I posted up on our Facebook page. It's on our YouTube page that walks you step by step on exactly how to do that. But it's pretty much the same thing that we just did. If you remember that library card number, 211931 plus your STU number, you will be able to get into Libby, and you will go to the library and you can search for books. Go to Explore, and then you can choose, okay, do you want romance novels? Do you want books in Spanish? Do you want kids books? So if you go to the section, it will give you, and you can look for specific books. You can search for genres of books. You can apply filters so that you only see books that are actually available now, because sometimes it will give you everything. And so you might want to say, oh, I only want to look for books that are available now. I need a book right now. I don't want to be put on a wait list. And so if you do that and you apply these preferences, you'll get access to all the books that are currently available. Okay, and the nice thing is you can look at the book, you can read through, it'll give you a little overview of the book before you borrow it, but you're not going to get charged. So the nice thing about this is there's no late fees. If it's due, it'll just automatically take it back to the library. So you don't need to like put reminders on your phones to return the book. It automatically gets returned on its own. Okay. So Libby, a wonderful, wonderful app. And again, I'm not going to play this video here, but it's if you need the step-by-step directions on how to enter in your password and how to access it, you feel free to watch that video that's embedded in here. All right, how many of your students have been on Epic? ¿Cuántos de ustedes han usado Epic? Some of you have. Epic is another great online tool, and the kids get very excited about it. So it is, the only thing I want to put in a word of caution is it is free for teachers. And that means that if they are using it through a teacher's account, so a teacher has set up a classroom and given students a code to use through Epic, students will be able to read books free from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Okay? So it is to be used during the school day. If you want, as a parent, you can sign up for Epic free, And if you sign up for Epic free, you'll get 2 hours of free reading time outside of that 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Timeline. So that students can continue to use Epic for 2 hours a week. And every Monday it starts and the 2 hours begins again. But if you go over that, then you would get charged a monthly fee. So we caution parents, we have aligned the free use from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., but that 2 hours right now isn't available for students unless parents sign up. And we were like, we don't really want to make parents pay for it because there's plenty of other ways to get free books. But if your kid really loves it, maybe you do want to, pay the extra money and get it. But it is a library of 40,000 students' books, eBooks, videos, all online, and the kids really seem to love it. So when they go in, our teachers, like I said, all pretty much have codes, and we can log in. And of course, now it's not going to remember my code, but it will give you access to a number of books. There are books that kids can just listen to. So again, the audio books. There are videos that they can watch, or there are books that they can read. Okay, so this is just a place to access lots of great learning. And oh, here we go. Here's my class code. So if you need a class code, let us know. But basically what will happen is when they go in, the teachers will have them set up with different profiles. So they enter in their teacher's class code, and then they will find their little avatar, their little character, and it will take them to their books, right? So if we go find our character, it keeps leveling you. So for every book you read, you get more points, and so they can level up, and there's incentives to reading, but they get to choose, if they want it to be read to me, so they want somebody to be reading them a book, if they want an audio book, if they want comics, if they know what reading level they are, they can choose books that are just at their reading level. So again, when you see this green at the bottom, it means these are good for the younger kids, that it'll read the book to them. So if your child's in TK, Kinder, maybe they're not reading independently yet, this is a great place for them to just listen, have the book be read to them, and it'll follow along so that they can see as the words are being read, okay? And so they just click on the green triangle and
the top of a dam is called a crest.
Okay.
What are dams? Dams are human-designed barriers.
Okay, so you can see that this is a read to me book. Okay, if they choose book levels that are, maybe a little bit more advanced, typically these ones are not ones that are read out loud, right? So let's say I want to read Diary of a Wimpy Kid. This would just give me access to the book itself, and it's an ebook, which means I get the visuals and I can just read through it on my computer screen. Okay, this app is not available on the LUCHA or the district iPads or iPads right now because of the paid version. So the only apps that we do allow on our school iPads are ones that are free, and because there's that limit on them, we haven't put them on the device. But they can go to Google Chrome, the website browser app, all right, and they can look up the website on here and still access Epic through Chrome, okay? They just wouldn't be using the Epic app, they would be using the Chrome app, okay? So they would just look for the Chrome symbol. All right, so that is Epic. So again, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. it's free, but after 4 p.m. they won't have access to it anymore unless you've registered yourself for an Epic account. Okay. Tumble Books is another, there's more and more of these popping up. So Tumble Books is another great resource. I introduced this to some kids last week who are looking for something different. This is offered through the San Jose Public Library. There is a username and password that is available for all residents of San Jose. So again, you go to the website, you put in the username Tumble735, the password books, and they'll be able to get access to even more ebooks. Okay, so again, the top right hand corner is going to have the sign in information. Tumble735 is the username, books is the password. You sign in and you'll get all of these books available at an ebook. Okay, so again, just lots of great choices. sometimes, you know, they get sick of one, right? So if they use Epic for a couple months and then they've read everything they want to read in Epic, then switch over to Tumble Books, and there's a bigger variety of books. So our biggest thing is we want to have this variety for students so that they can stay interested in reading. We want them to choose books that are interesting to them rather than forcing books on them that they don't even want to read and then they don't like reading, right? So our goal at Lucha is to keep reading fun for our students. And big part of that is being able to choose books. Okay, and then the last app I'm going to share with you on eBooks is an app called Open eBooks. And again, this is an app that you can download on your phone, on your tablet. Unfortunately, this one is not available on your computer. It is not a website, so it has to be on a device, on a tablet or on a phone, a smartphone. But this is, we received a grant through First Book to get all of our students access codes and pins to this library of books. And so you would just need to reach out to your teacher or to the office, and we can give you your child's specific access code to this, and it'll open up even more books for them. And again, I put together a little tutorial video for you. If you want to see the step-by-step directions on how to get into Open eBooks, you can watch this video. It's also on our Lucha YouTube channel. Okay, so any questions on accessing digital books? Those are the resources. Now I'm going to share with you a little bit about the instructional programs we're using at Lucha to support literacy, but I want to make sure that everybody feels pretty good about where they can find books for their child now that we're in distance learning. All right. Okay, then I'm going to switch gears a little bit to talk to you about instruction. So what we just shared was how to get books. This is really to promote your students' independent reading, and they should be doing that every day, reading independently every day for 20 minutes at least, okay? That is the Lucha expectation for every grade level. Every student is reading for at least 20 minutes every day. But there are also other pieces to reading that we want to work on our students in developing their literacy skills. So this year, we are using a program called MOBE Max. Okay, we used to use something called iReady. So this is sort of the replacement for iReady. We're not using iReady this year, we're using MOBE Max. And MOBE Max is a program that allows our students to practice their skills at their independent level in reading, in language arts, in social studies, and in science. Our school's login is right here. So this CA4964 is actually Lucha's specific school code. So if you click on this, then the students will enter in their student username, which is again their STU plus their 420 number. And then their password is the current password that they use to get into their Google account. Everybody's ends with the last 3 letters, ST and a capital U. That's called that's their password. Okay, when they log in, they will get access to, the first thing they have to do is take a test. There's a short little test. It's a placement test. So this is where we get information to decide what pathway to put them on. So if they are a 4th grader, but they're on a 1st grade reading level, they're not going to get access to 4th grade reading lessons. They're going to get access to 1st grade reading lessons because this program matches them to the level they're at. Conversely, if they're a kindergartner, but they're reading at a 3rd grade level, they're not going to get kindergarten lessons. After they take their placement test, it will put them on the pathway that is meeting their individual needs. Okay, so this is MOBE Max. It is very user-friendly. The kids get excited because they get different points and badges for all of their completions. So then they earn time in playing different games that are embedded in MOBE Max. So when you go to this sign in, just make sure they go to as a student, sign in as a student, and they'll put their information in to get in. So again, I think most of our teachers by now have already had the students log in. They've already taken their placement tests, and now they're using it every day as a extra skills practice to continue getting information. Then our other resource is Kids A to Z. Okay, so Kids A to Z is our independent leveled readers that all students have access to give them opportunities to practice reading books at their level. So when they choose books from the library, we're not as concerned if they're choosing books that are too easy for them or too hard for them. We want them to just choose books that they're interested in. But in reading A to Z, this is where we do really want students to focus on their independent reading level so that they're getting practice in a level of books that's just right for them, not too hard and not too easy. And so this is a great thing that Kids A to Z offers. When they go into Kids A to Z, they're going to be asked to listen to the book, to record themselves reading the book, and then to answer questions on the book. So it tests their fluency to see if they can read it fluently, and it tests their comprehension to see if they understand what they're reading, okay? 2 weeks ago, we talked about this icon, and this icon is called the waffle, right? So when students log into their Google account and they go to their waffle, they will see Reading A to Z is already there. So I'm going to just show you. If I'm in Google, I go to my top right-hand corner under my Google Apps, and I scroll down. Reading A to Z is going to be Kids A to Z. Sorry, it's called Kids A to Z is one of the options. So it's this little robot guy. So if I go to Kids A to Z, this is how your students can log into their account. So as long as they're logged in as themselves, right now I'm getting just the teacher overview side, but they'll get the student overview side. So again, they just make sure they're logged into their computer, they go to their waffle, and they look for Kids A to Z, and they'll get access to their books. And we have not done our beginning of the year reading tests yet, right? So that's coming up next week. In the next 2 weeks, our teachers are going to be doing their one-on-one levelers to find out every student's independent reading level. Once we get that data, then we'll be putting it in here so that we can place students in their independent reading level. So right now they're going to have access to all books, but once we get their data, then it's going to limit, so they're only getting books that are at their independent level, okay? So that is Kids A to Z. Sometimes it's called Reading A to Z. Sometimes it's called Raz Kids. It has a couple different names to it because there's different components of the program, but they're all the same thing. It's independently leveled books where students can listen to the book, answer questions about the book, and record themselves reading the book. All right, so those are all of the tools that I did want to share today. I'm happy to answer any questions. If people want to see something a little bit deeper, I'm happy to log into one of these programs too to show you what it looks like a little bit more. But I will open it up now for any questions that anybody has. So en este momento yo voy a parar. No estaba diciendo las recordatorios que estamos con traducción, pero ojalá que ustedes han buscado a Ruby, ella está traduciendo. Pero yo quiero abrirlo si tienes preguntas, por favor. ¿Alguien tiene algunas preguntas o quiere que está mostrando algo de una de estas programas? All right, then I'd love for you to just think about what's one tool from this presentation that you are going to try and use with your students. So thinking back to everything we went through today, I'm gonna just do a quick overview. I want you to, in the chat, put down one tool that you are going to use. Maybe you are going to check out the express pickup from the San Jose Library, or you're going to ensure your student uses their digital library card to access eBooks, either through the San Jose Library website or through the Libby app. Maybe you're gonna get your kid into Epic and read books on Epic, or you're gonna check out Tumble Books or Open eBooks. And maybe you just wanna check your child's progress on MOBE Max or on Kids A to Z. So if you can choose one of those tools, put it in the chat. Which one are you going to work on, check out with your child this week to see how you can continue to check their reading levels? So yes, awesome. Virginia says she's going to be able to do the San Jose Library resources and Epic. I think the kids love Epic. It's a really engaging, there's a lot of nonfiction text too that the kids seem to love, books about animals or different things. Good. Laura says she's going to check out MOBE Max. Good. And check to make sure your students are doing it on a regular basis. Most of the teachers do have a MOBE Max assignment that they're giving for the week. So your students should be on there regularly practicing. Okay. If you don't want to put it in the chat, you can also unmute yourself and share if you want to share what tool you're going to be using. Epic, MOBE Max. Nice. MOBE Max. All of them are good. There's lots of resources out there. And if you are struggling in accessing them or you forgot something, I will put this, I'm recording this presentation now. I'll put it on our YouTube channel so you can go back and watch it again. And I'll share this presentation with you via Parent Square so that you have these slides and you can access the different websites easily. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Lucha leaders, for joining us today. This is a very important topic for us because at Lucha, we are today's readers, tomorrow's leaders. So we want to make sure that our students are continuing to read. Remember to go through your home libraries, any books that you are ready to part with, bring them to us here at Lucha so we can gift them to other students and get more books in the hands of kids. So we'll be taking all donations all the way until Monday, September 21st, okay? Thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. Again, next week, we will not be doing a parent training, but we will have a stakeholder input session. So next Wednesday evening at 6 p.m. or this 10 a.m. on Friday time, you can come to either one or both. It'll be the same thing, but it'll be our chance to share the distance learning plan from the district and get your feedback, ideas, suggestions on what's working and what we need to improve with distance learning. Bye, everybody. Have a great weekend. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, Mr. Burb.
Thank you.